Greetings, I'm Shad, and Stellar Blade is an upcoming video game with a demo release that is getting a lot of attention, and I think it's getting attention for how great the combat is. Specifically, the combat, and nothing else. Not one reason, definitely not two reasons. Definitely no two reasons are getting a lot of attention for this game.
I can think of two large reasons.
Like the combat and sword.
Two large, bouncy, jiggly reasons.
Well, you can jiggle swords, so definitely swords and the combat. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And all right, so some of the gameplay is out, and we can analyze the combat and see how realistic it is, how well it flows. Now, of course, when I do these things, there's going to be a balance between flashiness with a bit of realism, but you don't want them to kind of just throw realism out the window entirely. So we are going to start and take a look at this. This doesn't look like a combat. And I'm not sure the armor would be too protective. Actually, okay. Magical armor clothing. All right, well, that didn't seem to be the combat. I think we've found the combat now and the two main things that people are interested in.
More like four main things.
I didn't notice the two things that we were looking for there. There were two other things that were hard to miss.
It had everything I wanted.
Yeah, did it? Well, I like swords. And tell you what, when you combine swords with a good-looking lady... All right, I think we have found the combat. And to do our due diligence here, we might need to slow it down. Might need to go frame by frame. We might even need to zoom in just to get a really good look at the combat. Because we don't want to miss anything. We need to see how well it holds up.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing the penetration of the swords.
Yes. Swords do penetrate, okay. They need to be whipped out and used properly.
Two hands. Two hands, people.
Now, this video footage was provided on the internet, on YouTube, by Life Will Change. Thank you for providing the footage. And so...
We'll get a view of a lot of things, I reckon.
Possibly. Like we're getting a view of something right now. The equipment and there's pipe work. See that pipe work right there? Yep. The hair bounces a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, that jiggle physics.
The jiggle physics of the hair.
Of the hair.
This is an interesting creature. That's its mouth. That is weird. Interesting stance. Not that great, honestly. Literally holding the sword behind herself. Now, there are some historical stances in which you hold the sword somewhat behind, but it's usually in a position that's ready to attack from, and so it's almost loaded. So the one I'm afraid, there's a position called Wrath where you hold the sword right over your shoulder like this, and you're ready to go, where this one is not good. This is all style, no substance.
And, if she had the sword in front of her, we would see more of her stance.
Possibly, yeah. She could present her sword a bit more, and there would be, cool, ways that I think they want stylistic ways. There are stylistic ways to present the sword forward. All right, going into the fighting now. And so, strafe, already we get to see some interesting things. So if we go back, see this, dodge. That was a very interesting, fancy dodge there, where it's spinning around dodge. I'm not sure it was helpful, though.
It looked pretty.
It looked pretty, but spinning around, I think that would actually slow you down if you're just wanting to get to the side. Some strafing, all right, yeah, perfectly fine strafing. I mean, I've strafed a lot, so just have to see this?
That's strafing.
So
that's
practice.
Pretty cool.
Practice. Okay. Interesting dodge. Let's look at that again. So... is it look, this is very stylistic, and I think it works. I like it. If you could do it, you could get away. See this? Actually, it's a bit late, isn't it? Yeah. And so she technically got hit. I reckon that's a hit right there.
Damaged my
and
ass.
Then she decides to do it. If she flipped earlier, I would be perfectly okay with it. And she's flipping out of the way. And then striking at nothing, strafing forward. All right, we get to see some attacks. And so already, she's not very concerned with holding that sword out in a sword stance.
Yeah.
And so she strafes forward, right? And then getting ready for an attack. All right, so that's just a straight sideways attack. Nothing too special. It's basic. It works.
Did it hit though?
It missed. In fact, all these attacks miss. But we're getting a good view of the combat. So attack, and that's just a straight back sideways attack, right? Spin attack. Check this out. All right. This one, not too bad. You know why? Because when she does an attack, the sword is already kind of behind her. And so carrying that momentum, just spin around, might actually be just as fast if trying to stop the momentum and swinging back in another attack, because that effort it takes to try and stop, and it's already there, right? You know, is about the same. And look how fast it is. Ready from there, bang, attack. That is fast.
So you started with a backside swing?
Yeah, so swing back and then straight into that. So let's look at the sequence together. So attack, spin, attack.
Even
Not
UFC fighters do that with the backswing.
They actually, this is the thing. There are certain spinning attacks that are used effectively in certain combat. And there is a backhand spinning attack in UFC and a spinning heel kick where your back leg, you twist, pivot, and then spin with the foot. Because sometimes spinning is a good trick.
Like the Star Wars.
Thanks for pointing that out. I'm sure no one picked that up. Oh, okay, we get to a really fancy attack. And again, this is interesting. It's a spinning attack, but it's from the same position where the sword is held behind. She's doing pretty wide swings, okay? From that position, is it faster to just jump up from behind and do a spin attack down than hitting back? I think I would go with it. I would give it a pass.
And it might be to make up for her having less strength than a dude using her momentum and weight.
Momentum? And so check it out. Spin, bang, and she gets some pretty cool airtime. Like, look at that. That just looks wicked. Tell you what, the motion capture, or just, I'm not sure if this was motion capture. Maybe it was just like keyframed, right? Is that what it's called, keyframe? But it looks really like natural in the air, the motion here. And she gets some wicked airtime and then holds it there, bracing the strike and then throwing it into the attack. See how, and if we watch it on normal speed, it slows down as the spin and then it spins up the attack as you're swinging it down. That's actually wicked. Check it out. Bang! I love that. That's really cool. Blocking? Okay. And so, you know, the monster gets hit and then it's coming in for a slash. Defensive stance, holding the sword forward. It seems like when you want to block, you adopt a sword stance, but when you don't want to block, she just holds it normally, all right? And then blocks the attack, blocks it again, 4 attacks blocking, all in a pretty solid stance right there. Oh, that was cool.
And
thrusting. She thrusts this sword forward, penetrating that monster pretty right there.
Yeah, but hey, it's pretty impressive the way the leg work gets knocked around when she's blocking. Like, that's impactful. I like that.
It shows impact. Like, the animations in this game actually look top tier, as well as other animations as well.
And I noticed, because I was looking there already.
Yeah, the physics are pretty good in this game. Look at that. Stab, big thrust, and she braces herself, right? Holds back and dives in. Now, this is telegraphing a lot, okay? But it's interesting when it comes to, fancy choreography. To really convey impact, sometimes they want to depict a big telegraph. You wouldn't really do this in combat unless it was an open hit and you were just trying to throw all your strength into it. If your opponent was like watching you, you wouldn't want to do this because you're telling them what to do. But I think they're doing this intentionally in the game to show that impact. Because it goes back, bang, big hit, and then dodging back out of the way. Missing. But let's have a look at this strike. Just a big wide, it's coming from behind, slash. You know, yeah, like just basic, but okay. But that ending position, that is an interesting end position for a sword strike. Whoa, that's bad. That is a big overswing. The sword's fully behind. She's technically even a bit off balance from it. You wouldn't want it, like, a good ending position when you strike, you have both hands on, and it kind of stops right there, and you hit like that. But this one was an overswing. Blocking, sword, oh, check that, that's cool. Her blocks literally change position based on where the strikes are coming in from the monster. And so she goes side, 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 ready, bang, hit, side. That's cool, I love that. And sword position, defense, deflection, solid stance right there, that's cool. That is very cool. Big block then. Check that out. So the monster's coming in for a big hit. So hit, big hit, big block. And then slash, 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 jump. That seems to be a standard sequence, because that was the repeat of the standard sequence here. Let's have a look at it again. It's big wide overswing, so slash, overswinging, see the position, and then slash, and then she's going to go with it to do a spin, and then she's going to go with this one to do a jumping spin. Hit. That looks like a standard attack sequence, and it's pretty darn sexy. And I don't necessarily hate it. There is some overswinging, but the fact that she's using the momentum and overswinging in conjunction with spins and then a flip spin looks good. I like it. Let's watch this again. Hit, spin. Very good.
I can forgive every inaccuracy about this game as long as the pretty lady's on screen.
And the physics are depicted accurately, realistically. That's what we want, those realistic physics.
I'm loving the depictions.
Yeah. And so, oh, that was cool. Okay. Back strafing into a back handstand flip. Check this out. Okay, so the question is, was that needed?
Yes.
No.
Rule of cool.
Rule of cool is the only thing where it comes in. But if you're wanting to put distance between your opponent, that backwards flip does not increase your rate of retreat compared to just strafing backwards with steps. And in fact, this even slows it down. See how quickly she moves back here, and then this one, they slow it down, and I think that's actually just for the look. Because check this, see how it kind of hangs in the air a bit more, like right there? Just need to go, slow to see the physics and the motion accurately. But it does hang in there a bit. So from this strafe to there, and then normal, another flip. Still looks good. Looks very good, doesn't it?
Looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Monster coming in, getting a nice blocking, standard slash. All right, so this was cool. So depending on the angle of the sword depends on which way she spins, which of course just makes sense. So she overswings with this one, and then that leads into another spin, which I don't hate. With how widely she's spinning, in this sense, this is the tricky thing with spins, and this is like spin central. The problem with spinning is that you take your eyes off your opponent for a split second, and that's a problem. We've tested out some Star Wars style spins on the channel with lightsabers, and one of the big issues is that you can't see your opponents. But if you do it quickly, you can get away, because there are spinning attacks in UFC and stuff.
There is one thing you might want to look into though. It's called, what's it called? I think it's called 180-degree vision that basketball players have when they do these micro glances, which they report being able to see things that they shouldn't be able to see. It's a strange.
I've not heard of that.
I saw it on either Mythbusters or some Discovery Channel thing. Yeah, they studied it and everything.
We might have to look into that.
Yeah.
But then goes into a spin, and this spin kind of raises into a highwards attack. This looks wicked, but all right, so she's using her momentum. Look at this. She kicks her leg back. This is why I think it might have been motion captured, because the balance of the body and the natural way people move is sometimes really hard to capture mechanically if you're just doing it like, keyframing, if I'm using the right words. But motion capturing, because people need to keep balance in the real world, they naturally do it. And so this type of maneuver looks really realistic because look, she's kicking her leg back, which would be a natural thing that a real person would need to do. And then she's using that momentum of swinging her leg around to just pull that sword strike in. And it looks amazing. That looks awesome. Check that out.
And if you look really closely at her hips and buttocks, that's what I'm doing.
Let's watch it in its regular speed. Like, that's cool. That's cool.
And the landing shot too.
That landing shot right there, right, like that shot.
Yeah.
Position of the sword is what's definitely big overswing, but it's a big sword, and so it would carry the momentum. So block, slash, wide slash, block. Yeah. All right, so we're seeing some of the repeat animations, and that was the thrusting again. Same types of blocks. Ooh, that was like a big hit. She almost got staggered then. That's cool.
Oh, she took some health.
Oh, I didn't even know she had guns in this. Okay, cool.
It looks that's really smart. The gun is the drone, and so it doesn't...
is it?
Yeah, it doesn't weigh her down.
That is awesome.
That's really cool.
That is wicked. So, yeah, she doesn't have the gun. Drone comes in, blasts him, and then that is awesome. Oh, this is cool. So, the chainsaw head monster, trying to chainsaw her, and blocking, and she throws it to the side. That's cool. You know what I like about that? This thing is heavier than her. It's bigger than her. And so, obviously, she has superhuman strength. I guess I wouldn't criticize if she just pushes it off, but it does show how she's struggling by it bearing down on her, that instead of being able to throw it off, she pushes it to the side, like, and throws it off. That's cool. Ooh, stab right in the gut. That was wicked. This is like, obviously, a, what do you call it when it goes into a replayed sequence animation?
Quick time event.
Quick time. So this is like a quick time animation based on it trying to chainsaw her. And if you succeed, you stab it in the gut, spin around, and another one of those spins. Look, I could almost forgive this one as well. Like if she pulls it out, yanks it, and using that momentum in one motion to spin around. That's what's kind of saving the spins for me. This isn't just like someone standing and then doing a random spin.
Yeah.
She always seems to be carrying the momentum with her, which feels like the follow-up spin attack would hit just as fast if she had to stop and then swing back in the other direction. The danger is not being able to see, but it's a video game, sci-fi, she might have, technology or something. Check it out, how she pulls it out and spins straight there, and then she struggles, and then she's like trying to push the blade in, and then slashes it right through. And did she do a spin there? No. Yeah, just slash. No spin after the slash, but look at that pose. Look at that pose. And then she kind of slides to a stop. That's style. That is 100% style. It looks great. Wow, there's a big one. So this is a new attack I haven't seen. A lightning spin attack. Wow, it really throws her around. She's off balance there. But that conveys the momentum, doesn't it? If you could do something like that fast, I think that could be an effective attack, especially if it was had a lightning boost power up. But if it didn't have a lightning boost power up, just spinning attacking can be a bit predictable. But if you can do it, whip it out quickly and do the big spin.
I could whip it out as quickly as she needed.
You reckon like it that fast? Because she whips that out fast.
Way
Bang.
faster.
Faster. And then jumping back. Oh, that's like she got hit again then.
And took a lot of damage.
Okay, so she gets knocked here. Let's have a look at that. So, okay, falls right on her rear end. I mean, I think she has some cushion there that just dampens the impact.
And if she doesn't have a cushion there, I volunteer my face as tribute.
The way she gets up is pretty cool. She kind of spins around, like that, spinning, and then back to her feet, takes her health. Yep. Again, look at this strafe. This is like a big lunge side strafe into a spin. I'm not sure the spin helps in that part. All right, so she's healed up. She's going in. Oh, okay. He's grabbed her. He's grabbed her.
I'd want to grab her too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Holy crap.
I wouldn't do that though.
No. I mean, obviously she has some type of superhuman durability because a real person is just chopped in half at this point.
Yeah.
Is that the monster's face?
Yeah.
And does he bury his face some... Look, that seems a little across the line, monster.
However, at least it's humanizing the monster. He's an understandable villain.
Understandable? Yeah. You can relate to...
I can honestly empathize with his motivation.
Comes in for a hit. Oh, All right, standard animations again. But that one! Okay, so we get like an aerial multi-hit in this. So she swings the blade up into a spin, slices again. That, it's all style. I'm not sure how effective it would be over just attacking, but man, that looked sick. Watch it again. Just hit. Was that 3 hits? So it comes in, hit. Yeah. Awesome.
Can I ask you though, Shadsky?
Yes.
Would it be... I feel like it'd kind of be sexier if she looked exactly the same, but she was doing proper stuff. Would you be more aroused by that?
Not necessarily, because I understand that these flashy moves look brilliant. And it depends on the world setting, honestly, and other elements. Like, there are some fight scenes, right? Like in Game of Thrones, for instance, where some of the moves are just dumb. And if you were to use actual, more historical or historically founded stuff, that's a bit of a mix between some flash, but more based on historical stuff. Looks brilliant. Adaria Olomok has a fight scene, which is like, should be the gold standard for more grounded, historically inspired fight scenes. It looks amazing.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I should show you sometime. That should be the gold standard. Maybe we'll put some footage up here of the fight scene I'm talking about. Amazing, right? And so for a lot of historically or more grounded sword fights, that should be what it is. This is a superhuman fight scene with someone with superhuman abilities that can jump and do crazy flips and things. And in that sense, this looks brilliant and it's more justified because of the superhuman abilities. When they try and incorporate goofy spins and jumping around when they're not superhumans, and it also makes, like, worst example in my mind is the throne room fight scene in Last Jedi. I've got a deep dive fight scene autopsy on that, and it is awful. And they are superhumans in that, but the timing is horrible. They're standing wide open like they should get hit. It's just...
Weapons are disappearing.
Daggers are disappearing. It's just awful, awful. If they had stuff like this in that fight scene, like, check out these acrobatics, right? How wicked would that look? Like, look at that one. That was like a big slash backflip. That looked wicked. Comes in with a big spin and then poses, and that is an interesting ending attack. It conveys motion. Right, bending over, she's bending down with the sword behind her. Okay, now we're getting into kind of the final defeat, where it comes in with that, again, I do love that airtime. Look at that, where...
So fluid.
Fluid, pausing, and then comes down with a big hit. And so this looks like, the final quick time death animation. And so you gotta nail the hits. Oh, that... Look at how they handle the camera work here, right? Like, dodging that attack coming in, just right there. I'm just impressed with the camera work because it's integrating, like, how it goes slower and then faster. Big slash. That looked awesome. Look at that air time there. Let's go back and watch this again. So she stabs in, spins around, kicks her legs out to just hammer the monster down. Jumping on, slash down, pulling this one up in a big slash and then spinning at the end. Defeat in her standard pose, which is not, that's not actually her sword stance. Her sword stance is when you want to block and she drops her sword. This is just like her ready, stance, or her rest stance. And the sword disappeared. Oh, must be like an energy, I don't know, nanotechnology?
Where's she putting the sword?
We need to watch this closely to find out. Let's figure this out, Oz. So she has the sword. Is that her hair? Hang on.
It's her hair.
It's her hair.
They did that in Bayonetta too. She fought with her hair and her clothes and everything.
So it goes up, flips around on her head.
It's in her hair.
And it's in her hair.
That is
weird.
That is cool. I like it.
I don't like it's shrunk. It must be some type of nanotech something.
Well, once she's done using the sword, she's got all that she's going to get out of it. Of course, it's going to shrink. It just goes back to regular size. Like, that's just it happens.
I'm not familiar with that phenomenon. Swords don't shrink. It's weird.
I mean, if it's cold, no, never mind.
So there we go. That is Stellar Blade. And look, in terms of style, it looked awesome. It was wicked, right? It had the slow motion when you wanted it. It conveyed power. There were some goofy things here and there, but not nearly the worst I've seen. And what I liked about it, a lot of the spinning was actually justified with the motion. Yeah. Pretty good. We might need a rewatch just to be sure.
I really do feel for the villain in this, though, the monster.
Yeah.
If I was in a dungeon with her, I'd want to smash her a couple of times too.
Really?
Yeah.
The monster definitely wanted to smash her a bit.
Yeah.
But hey, thank you for watching. And hey, there's a lot of we test a lot of these things in real life as well in terms of spinning. You can check out the spinning video with the lightsabers because spinning with a lightsaber is a bit hard when you try and put it in practice. Just say so. It's right there. You can check it out. Hope to see you there.